In this section, we'll primarily be working on the front face of the coin to create the details and the scripts that appeared on the coin. To do this, we'll use quite a few of the sketching tools, plus we'll use the extrude tool to make our sketches into three-dimensional shapes. While using the extrude tool, we'll make sure to always select new component to keep it separate from the rest, so that way, in the next section, we can color it using the material library tools. Alright, let's get embossing our coin then. Now that the handle is completed, we will begin working on the embossing on the front of the coin. To emboss the coin, we'll be using a number of sketches. So first, let's get rid of the old sketch, just simply by clicking on it and then pushing delete on your keyboard. I will begin sketching on the front of the coin by selecting the polyline tool and clicking on the front face. Now I'll make the diagonal line like the one featured on the coin I'm recreating. Push enter to create the line. Now I'll just go ahead and use the offset tool found in the sketch menu. Once selected, I'll click on the diagonal line we used and then create a copy of it offset away from it. I'll type in 1 millimeter and then push enter. Then I'll use the polyline tool to close the ends so we have a solid shape. Let me just go ahead and extrude this shape so that way you can see how the embossing will be done. I'll select the shape, then I'll extrude it, and when I'm extruding it, I'll make sure to select New Solid. Then I'll type in 0.3 millimeters, which is very shallow, but these don't have to stick up very far. I'll push enter on my keyboard to accept the change. Now, I don't really fancy trying to make another one of these lines on the other side that's perfectly identical. So instead, what I'll do is I'll use the mirror tool again. But first, we'll need a plane that's not part of our object to mirror it across. To do this, I'll just use a simple primitive and I'll place it there. This will only be temporary. I'll make sure the wall lines up with the center of our coin. I'll select the object I want to mirror. I'll select the mirror tool from the pattern tab, and then I'll select the face I want to mirror it across. I'll push enter and I'll create the mirror. And now I can get rid of the cube. The next detail I want to create on the front of our coin is the outer edge of our coin. It kind of has a rim that runs around it. To create this rim around the coin, I'll simply select the project tool under sketch, and then I'll click on the face of our coin to select it as the sketch plane, and then I'll click on the face again to project it to the sketch plane. This will create some sketch lines that I can then use the offset tool on. I'll select the offset tool, then I'll select the lines, and I'll pull it in as far as it'll go, just under 2 millimeters. I'll just go ahead and extrude it using the extrude tool from the create tab. I'll extrude it the same amount as our other features, so 0.3 millimeters, and I'll just push enter. I'll just go ahead and delete the sketch. Next, we'll start creating the script that was on the front of the coin. Here's our reference of what we're going off of. I'll mostly be using the polyline tool to do this. With the polyline tool, you can also click and hold and it'll start creating a tangential curve. I'll use that a couple of times. You might want to practice that on your own. I'll also be making heavy use of the offset tool because I want to create an identical line just on the inside of this curve. This is a very handy tool and it'll save us a lot of time and make it look a lot nicer than if we just tried to freehand a second line on the inside. I'll make liberal use of using the trim tool to clean up the inside geometries of our characters so it's one solid character. This will save us a lot of time and effort when it comes to actually extruding them, and it just makes it look nicer. Also, because this character isn't quite in the right spot, I'll go ahead and select it all, then I'll use the move tool to actually move our sketch, so that way when we extrude it, it'll be in the right spot. For this next character, I'll go ahead and use the circle tool, since this character is going to be something like a circle with an inverted T in it. I'll make the circle, and then I'll use the circle tool again to make a smaller circle on it, and then I'll make our inverted T using the polyline tool. I do also want to note that 123D Design does have a text tool, but these are ancient Chinese characters and they are not in our text tool. So if you're doing something that uses English text or something like that, you can go ahead and just use the text tool under the Smart Primitives tab on the right side of the screen. Now this third symbol will be a little tricky since it has concentric rings based on the second symbol. So we'll go ahead and use the circle tool again at the center of our second symbol and create these large concentric rings that we'll later trim down to make the desired symbol. We could also use the 2-point arc tool for the same thing, but I like this method a little bit better. I'll go ahead and use the poly tool to create these lines. Remember, later we'll use the trim tool to clean this up. Alright, so I'll go ahead and trim everything. Remember, to trim you have to first select the sketch you want to edit. So I'll just highlight part of our sketch, click on it, and now I can begin trimming. I'll just quickly go through and extrude each one of these symbols 0.3 millimeters up. So I'll just select it, and then I'll use the contextual pill and click on extrude. And then I'll type in our dimension, which is 0.3 millimeters. And I'll make it a new solid, so that way we can move these around later independently if we need to. And I'll push enter. I'll go ahead and extrude the other two symbols just like this. Remember to set it to new solid each time. I'll just go ahead and hide the sketches. There we go, that's looking pretty good. Now if all you were doing was going to 3D print these, at this stage they're ready to be 3D printed. You just have to export it as STL and print it. In the next video, we'll go ahead and show you how to add decals so we can add multiple colors to our coin.